Luigi Mangione, the man accused of killing UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson in cold blood, greeted to a New York State court with chants of support on Friday. The 26-year-old has attracted throngs of supporters, many of whom are fed up with the healthcare industry in this country. They flooded the Manhattan courthouse. In fact, the court had to stop allowing in spectators. Mangione facing 11 counts of first and second-degree murder, plus weapons and forgery charges. He's also facing state charges in Pennsylvania and a federal case as well. We are bringing in attorney Mark Reichel for more on Mangione's case. Mark, it's always good to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Natasha.
So, Mark, Mangione's attorney says all of the evidence hasn't been turned over to the defense yet. She has limited access to Mangione as well. Are these procedural issues or genuine concerns?
Oh, no, you can make, as a defense attorney, these are serious concerns. You should have complete access to your client at all times, and you need all of the evidence as soon as possible to determine what you're going to do. So these are big issues, and I would really caution the government authorities to play as fair as they can so that this case later on, doesn't come back on appeal because of these errors or something.
And Mangione's attorney also is saying his constitutional rights were violated during his arrest in Pennsylvania. Tell us more about this, and based on what police say, what do you make of this claim?
Well, it hasn't, I can't really flesh it out because I haven't heard exactly what her theory is. But let me tell you, this was someone who was sitting in a restaurant, okay, and they did have an N95 mask on. And granted, they may have matched the description of this person, but I think he had a hood on and so forth. There was no arrest warrant out at that time. This was the suspect. So everyone in America has the protection of the Fourth Amendment against unreasonable search and seizure. They have to have probable cause that you are the person that committed the crime. They approached him, could have been anyone, and asked him to remove his mask. The real interesting question is going to be, is that a search? Did the officers command him to do something without probable cause at that time? When he pulls the mask down, they said, we recognize him from the photographs, and we think this is Mr. Mangione that we're looking for. They then ask him for his ID. The question is obviously, can they do that to you in public? Say, let me see your ID. And he gave him an ID that was fake. Before they ran it, they said to him, now look, if this is fake, you're going to go to jail. He then responded to them and basically said, I'm Mr. Mangione. Well, all of those questions at that point are, what probable cause do they have to stop this individual, to prevent them from going on their way here, freely? That's what the Fourth Amendment protects in the Bill of Rights and the Constitution. And then when they handcuffed him and arrested him, they searched the backpack without a warrant. So all of those are ripe things for good criminal defense attorneys to challenge, because those are the Bill of Rights in America.
Yeah, do you think she would be successful with a challenge based on those facts?
No, it's going to be real close. And even if she is, the argument would be, well, we'll just use the videotapes of the guy and all the other evidence we have. And additionally, he made, I think they were building the case anyway. I don't think they're going to be successful, but you have to raise them.
Sure. Mark, as well, the Wall Street Journal reporting UnitedHealthcare's Medicare billing practices show the company was paid billions of dollars for questionable diagnoses. The Justice Department is now investigating this. What does this investigation mean for insurers? Do you think this validates the feelings of Mangione's supporters when it comes to healthcare?
Even if it does, I'm not, I'm aware of some injustices in the healthcare, but that shouldn't, in my opinion, bleed over in any way to the cold-blooded, attack or vicious attack or murder on anybody that's for any reason whatsoever. We settle our grievances in the courtroom. That's why we have lawyers.
Yeah, and Mark, very quickly, speaking of those supporters, some waiting in line for hours to get one of those courtroom seats open to the public. The court had to stop allowing in spectators altogether. Will this public support that he's finding influence this case in any way?
No. Jury selection, they will absolutely get rid of that. They'll figure that out. They're very good at it. And they'll be able to weed out anybody who has a bias either way and make sure they have an open mind. So a fair trial for both sides and for all of America is given in those courtrooms.
Mark Reichel, thank you so much.
Thank you, Natasha.